Am I live? It says you're live with an exclamation mark, and it quite honestly frightens me. Hello, everybody. Good Sunday to you all, and welcome to the program. So on and so forth. As you can tell, it's humid in here. It gives me that extra spring. This thing I'm still dealing with. Whatever. I'll talk about that later. Good morning. My name is RJ. This is the program where I make coffee in my underwear. Let's talk about the underwear briefly for 2 seconds. They are these Rick and Morty, the popular cartoon of the same name. I guess this is Rick, and he's a zombie, it seems like, or he's turning into a fly, maybe. And then I'm going to assume that this is Morty. Is there a good shot of Morty? Well, maybe not. There, here's a good Morty. He's turned into a spider, a space spider. It's like a takeoff of The Thing, maybe. He's upside down, and eyes are coming out of his mouth. So now he's got 4 eyes and 4 legs. I don't know if that qualifies him as a spider. I don't know, maybe spiders just have, you have to have 8. Obviously, an octopus has to have 8, or else it's just a fucking squid or something. Nevertheless, my mother bought me 3 pairs of Rick and Morty underwear. They were in a pack. She has not seen the show. She's not familiar with the show. She saw them at the store and thought they looked fun and funky. Has no idea that it was even a show. The name of the show she does not know. And also, I'm not that familiar with it. I mean, I know it, but I don't watch it, you know. I'm still getting through seasons of Betty Boop and Tex Avery. So I don't think it's a bad show. I don't know. I have no opinion. Nevertheless, I have these underwear, and it would be wrong of me to not wear the underwear, especially when my mother gifted them to me Christmas. And yet, I do need to clarify that I'm not a fan of the show. Not that I don't like the show. It's that I'm not familiar with it. I don't want to, put that out there and have people go, oh, he's a big Rick and Morty guy. Let's hook him up with Rick and Morty. I don't know Rick and I don't know Morty. And the fun adventures they go on in space, I guess, with space spiders or something. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. Heroin here said, I'm back. How you doing? I made a new book. I decided to create my own story of Beauty and the Beast, if you don't mind me saying so. I wrote the characters the same but different, especially Gilzar and Kook as Gaston and LeFou, the character I played and my friend James played in Splat-A-Lot. I guess that makes sense. Spot Center said, hey, everybody, next week, let's all get here early and have 45 minutes of conversation that RJ has to read back for the first 10 minutes, which is kind of like what I'm doing right now. What a rib. Oh, wait. He might catch on and just scroll. Never mind. And I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. I'm just going to scroll past it. Leo is here. Leo Montfort, who, if it's on my Instagram story, drew a delightful picture of me as I often pose in my coffee and underwear thumbnail. Leo, please DM it to me so I can post it on the YouTube community for everyone to appreciate in full. And he then apologized for saying he made me look like a tired Richard Lewis, which I think is pretty fucking accurate right now. Val said, starting off hot with the nonsense this morning. Okay, Gamer said, well, hi, everyone. Don't forget to like the video when you arrive. 32 people watching, 12 likes. All right. That was like 40% maybe, which I think is my average. I think, like, if everyone who sees my work, 40% of the people will like it. Dana Gasalvez. I'm horrible at pronouncing that. Hello, I like Muay Thai. Good for you. I don't. Too much moving around. Stay in one place. Let's talk it out. Maybe that'll be better. Ty said, good morning. Called hi there, RJ. Looking handsome today. Why, thank you, Ty. And Ty, if you will also note in my Instagram story, not only got my merchandise, but her mother got my merchandise, and they wore it together for no reason. They weren't seeing me or doing a me-related thing. They just wore it around the house, which is nice and sweet, and how it should be worn. It shouldn't be paraded around outside. Val said, I prefer to like right away and then unlike if I get disappointed or something. Those assholes who go to a restaurant and they'll have like a stack of bills for the tip. You only heard rumors about these people. You never actually know these people. But then if a waiter fucked up, they'll take like $1 off the tip pile. Julio says, thoughts on me. Stop listening to BTS to watch this. BTS is kind of like Rick and Morty to me of the Korean pop world. I'm not that familiar with their songs. I'm sure they're very well liked. I'm sure they're all nice boys. But I am happy that you stopped listening to them. As long as you like the video, I think is the important thing. I'm sure they don't have to fucking remind people when they put videos out. Please like the video. Make sure I like it. So I don't have that issue at all. Patrick Broom said, what are your thoughts on the classic TV Western show Bonanza? Bonanza, to my understanding, is the true longest running TV show like ever. I think it still has the top spot. Is Lorne Green in it? I think he is. As far as I'm concerned, I love it. And one of the great theme songs of all time. People know that song and don't even know the show. That's how great the theme song is. I like it. As far as TV Westerns go, which may be an outdated concept, I enjoy it. Nell said, I just found out Dalton Castle is a free agent. I'm shook. He is a free agent, which means he will agent your career for free. If you want some auditions, commercials, anything like that, he will send in your resume and your reel free of charge, pro bono. Spot Center said, to me, Morty is the producer Letterman used to talk to off stage. I remember that. I also remember the producer Regis used to talk to off stage, not Gelman or more. Remember, Gelman was like the producer who was a little more trendier and hip on camera. And then Art was a little further in the background. You wouldn't see him as much. Always wore suits. Jack said, hi, friends. Sean Flagstaff said, morning culties, morning RJ. I got my Steve Carino coffee. Damn good stuff. That's the king of old school. Squared circle. Silver? Is it a silver blend, Sean? Or is it the gold blend? I'm a silver man myself. Kevin Featherstone said, morning RJ. How is the COVID in Canada? Not as bad, but in relation to us, our own stuff, worse than it's ever been. Which seems to be the case in a lot of places. I also heard a little birdie told me, the rumor is that Ontario is going to impose curfews now from like 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So you can't be out doing certain stuff. I'm sure there's a list of exceptions that renders the curfew moot, as of most of these restrictions have done. I'm not crazy about it. Not that I'm a night owl, but I also don't think it's a good idea. 8 p.m. What the hell is that? Because what if I wanted to go food shopping at night? Now all the night food shoppers are going to have to go during the day, and it's just going to pack. I don't know the point of the curfew when you already have, please stay at home. It's weird to me. Doesn't make any sense. It's an odd situation. Neil said, excellent light today. Why? Thank you. Positively E said, hey, RJ. Positively E said, is this new or old weird wood panel? Well, these are blinds. This is the same. I think it's a balsa. And it's in many ways, I feel like I'm live from the sauna again. Kimbo Grand said 40% is a fantastic hitting average in baseball. You know, Kevin Nash said to me, these wrestlers always complain about losing. They never want to lose. And they think if they lose once, it's over. And then he said, you know, if you bat 33 GPA, if you're hitting 30, if you hit 3 out of the 10 times you swing a bat, that's like a Hall of Fame career. So like in reality, it's not that unusual. Spot Center said, what's your favorite Harry Anderson magic trick? Oh, the one when Flo was there for a couple seasons, and then she just totally disappeared. Apple Better said 40. You know what? That's actually one of my regrets. He was performing magic. Must have been 10 years ago. And it was like 40 minutes for me. And it was one of those things where it's like, oh, let's go. And then nothing. I never made any motion. Him, I didn't see, and I regret it. Jerry Stiller also was playing in like literally 5 minutes away from me. And I was like, meh, playing what? I don't know. Apple Butter confirms 40% is a good number for baseballs. Jack Townsend said, should we start with a hot 60-second scene? Should we start off hot with a 60-second scene? Aaron is here. Morning, everyone. Nails wants to know what Jack has up his sleeve. Julio said, liking the video is the first thing we have to do. So true. Positively E said, Gunsmoke or The Simpsons. I don't know where The Simpsons ranks in terms of the longest running category. Maybe it's because they're animated. And I don't know if it was consecutive or like, it's like every TV show has an award because the categories are so specific. Gunsmoke, I might be confusing with Bonanza. Gunsmoke might be the longest running, but who remembers the Gunsmoke theme? Dun, 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 Gunsmoke, not the same. Leo said Rick and Morty is the Jordan. What? Where did we go? I lost you. Rick and Morty is the Jordan Peterson of adult cartoon. Here's a question: who's Jordan Peterson? Didn't we talk about this before? And I've totally forgotten. Val said, is Dalton signing to the AWA? Well, I did send him some brochures about how nice Minnesota is this time of year. Bell said, I know the theme song from the Taco Bell commercial. I just know the bong. I know that distinct bong. Pendulous Grandma said, the light and hair are wild today. I'm living it up. By the way, the Fight Network documentary that's coming out soon, the whole time is like, my hair is a little shorter than this. The whole time I look like this on like both sides. And I complain about it in the documentary. I wanted to leave that in so people knew that I knew how bad it was. I should have done this. Whatever. I blame the director. He ought to be ashamed of himself. Sean said, it's the limited edition, so it's a white bag, but I like it a lot. Well, here's to you. And here's to Steve. Here's to the king. By the way, this isn't actually the coffee. This is like a pre-coffee because it takes me so long to have to actually press the coffee because I'm doing so much talking that I was like, let's have a coffee now before I make the coffee. Positively E said, Dalton Castle was just announced for Virtual Basement's wrestling code game. All right. What's wrong with a real basement? Why don't you wrestle in a real basement? That's what I want to know. Spotstone said, Fonzie or the Big Ragu? Who wins in a fight? Carmine was a boxer. Arthur relied on reputation in fights not seen on camera. Got to go with the Fonz. He has the mental, he can play good mind games. Ragu is not savvy enough, unfortunately. Positively E said, maybe people aren't staying at home. And my question is, well, maybe that should be enforced more. No? I don't know. Painter's Grammar said, does the curfew account for essential workers doing their working shifts and being only off work at odd hours? I don't think so. That's my thing, is that there's probably so many exceptions. You're going to be like, what's the point? Remember, they were like, everything's closed except for this list. And it'll be a giant list. And you're like, okay, so nothing's closed. Nell said, as Kevin Nash once said, why does that make me laugh out loud? Well, that I can't help you with. Leo said, did Kevin Nash say that while necking ravioli? We all should eat like that while inhaling. Positively E said, RJ, you got to get a home office. I do have a home office. It's where I film every other video ever. You have seen it. It's just, I take it out in the open on the show. I change it up. I'm a wacky guy. Positively E said, Hulk Hogan has like 26 losses. But somebody like The Rock, I feel like, lost all the time. Jack Townsend said, 60-second scene. You, a boyfriend being introduced to your partner's family for the first time. Her little brother is putting on a magic show, but is terrible. You want to make a good first impression. Well, you really wrote out the whole scene here. Let me get my phone. Where did I put my phone? Oh, my God. Oh, here it is. So it was right underneath me the whole time. 60-second scene, first date, magic show. The brother is not very good. Let us begin. Oh, this is good. This is going to be great. Oh, me. Okay. Stop. Okay. Oh, okay. No. It's not my card. It's not my card. It's not my card. What do you? It was. I'm not going to tell you what it is. That wasn't it. You saw it. You know that it's not the card. Go again. Go again. Maybe it's go again. No, it's not. It's not. What do you want me to say? It is. You just want me to lie? You say it's my card? And scene. Well done. A lot of strife going on there. Leo said, are you going to do the Matt Hardy shaven sides again? You know, I felt like it was getting long enough to keep growing out. And it's also nice because the last time I got my hair cut, my barber was like, there's nothing you can do. Like, I can't trim these if you want to grow them out. So I was in there for like 2 seconds and I enjoyed it. Neil said, I'm really looking forward to the documentary. I mean, I'm not because I've seen it already. I don't think I've seen a final cut. I don't know that I want to. I will leave it in the director's capable hands, George Barbosa. I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't like it, what do you want from me? You know? Kimbo Grand said, loved you in the Fight TV documentary for Destiny Wrestling. Well, it's going to kind of be like that because the same people are involved, but also not like that at all. Neil said, we pregame coffee? Yeah, this is a pre-drink. We're in high school, and this is a pre-game party. Chris said, what's the coffee you're drinking right now? I can't remember what it is. It's organic, but it's normal as a hot brew. I'm going to go hot and cold, like a Swedish bath. Ty said, I enjoy that plain, generic gray blue mug. It is Starbucks, but it also doesn't feel like it, and it's big enough for my mouth. It gives me a wide berth, so I don't. With a normal size mug, I usually have a penchant for just dripping it down. Speaking of, George is here. Don't worry, your hair looked wonderful. Well, I will let you, the viewer, decide when you see this documentary soon. Nell said it's George Barbosa from the famous RJ City documentary. It's not, well, yes, the famous, but we haven't seen. Maybe I'll just destroy the footage, and it'll be like The Day the Clown Cried, or my unfinished Orson Welles film. SM said, will the t-shirt designs from Future Union tour you keep sharing on Insta ever be available for purchase, or are they all just a tease? So I have this wonderful, oh my God, wait, hold on. We have a request. I totally missed this. Spot Center said, can you sing the Happy Days theme song as a wrestler? Most of us know. Paul Bearer is probably impossible. I disagree. Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Oh, the weekend comes. My cycle hums. Ready to groove with you. These days are ours. It's got a Tiny Tim thing. These days are ours. 7 degrees. Happy days. That's as I think as good as you're gonna get for Paul Bearer. That's as good as Paul Bearer is gonna sound singing the Happy Days theme song. Oh yes, SM said, will the t-shirt designs? So Future Union is an amazing designer, designed my new logo, which you can see on the bottom of the screen here and on my profile picture and all that stuff. And sometimes he's crazy. He will design things and not even tell me, and all of a sudden tweet them and post them, and I'll go, what the hell is this? So will they become shirts? I think some of them will. I'm putting out new stuff. There will be more new stuff on ProWrestlingTees.com/RJ City. There's already new stuff on Teespring.com/stores/RJ City, which is in the description of the video if you're having difficulty. I just put out a new sweatpants, new bags. I think new hats are coming. They have to be processed. It's a whole thing, but I like them. They're very hip. New stickers. Things of that nature. So go click and look and tell me what you like, and there'll also be more coming. So stay the course. Okay, gamers say, y'all got to just set the scene. Let RJ surprise you with a punchline. Well, I'm not sitting in the director's chair. This is like if we wrote the words to the songs he doesn't know, but I do know them. Painter's grandma said, this scene looks like you've been there before. I've seen quite a few young amateur magicians. Positively E said, do you collect any comic books? If so, which are your favorites? I don't. I had 2 WWF comic books, Battle Mania they were called. They were like, must have been 92, 91, 92. And they were wrestlers fighting each other. Like it was the Bushwhackers and the Nasty Boys fighting at a buffet. And I loved them. I cherished them. And then, you put them away and years go by. And then you're like, oh, yeah, whatever happened to those Battle Mania? And then my mother had thrown them out. But I got this nice pair of Rick and Morty underwear. So who am I to complain? Spot Turner said, my RJ City Not a Cult all over long sleeve shirt arrives this Thursday. And I'm giddy as a motherfucker. Somebody else just posted it yesterday that they got theirs, and it looks delightful. There's long sleeve shirts. There are hoodies. There are sweatshirts. There are leggings for the sporty person. There's also a sports bra, which no one has bought yet. It was like, you can make a sports bra. And I was like, I don't know if anyone will want one, but I would like to see what it would look like. There's a one-piece swimsuit, which is delightful. And a bunch of other things. So I like the shirt with the pocket. Nail said, I would admire your brother's bravery. I would admire your bravery not to pander to my brother's shitty magic. You gotta, stay the course. I think that's important, especially in magic. If the person is wrong, the person is wrong. Leo said, you said you didn't want to hear Rowan Atkinson talk about cancel culture unless he does so in the Mr. Bean voice. So just 60 seconds of that, please. Okay. Quite a prompt. Well, Mr. Bean, my name's Mr. Bean. Okay. Is that, how does he sound? I think it's so microscopic. Was that him from the movie? To cancel someone whose culture makes no sense to me. To cancel culture would be to cancel art. Even if it is of wee-wees and woo-woos and things of that nature. I don't think it would be very good at all. Can you reinstate something that you've cancelled? Or is once it is cancelled, it is gone forever? These are the questions that I had when cancelling my subscription to the culture. And scene. That was a struggle. And Peter McNichols in the back going, oh, this makes no sense. Katie said, good morning, RJ. Jack Townsend said, outstanding. Panda's grandma said, destroy the documentary reels, then make a documentary about that. I think that's the way we're going. Kevin Featherstone said, I spat out my Dr. Pepper. Your good old AM Dr. Pepper. There's nothing I enjoy more than some eggs and Dr. Pepper. Nell said, so you're aiming to be our favorite wrestler we've never seen wrestle and our favorite documentarian who we've never seen document. And I think that's really the crux of it all. By the way, I want to clarify, this documentary is really about nothing. We didn't document me doing anything. It's not like I was building a deck or something. Aaron said, this is the vibe I'm bringing to the week. I don't know, is this about Paul Bearer still? SM said, I was about to compare it to Tiny Tim. Nell said, oh, you cult members are hilarious. Nell said, and Sabrina owns every single bit of merchandise he mentioned already. I think his merch guy goes to her before RJ. She just gets like pre-orders, basically. I just send one to the house. SM said, I'm waiting for the cult shirt to become available as a short sleeve, but it's a long sleeve design. Okay, maybe I'll put it on something else. Hang tight. Spot Turner said, why didn't Orc get over? For years, it had been a punchline, even with all the UFO talk. Wait, are egg pics on social media or sign? No. Oh, look. Oh, Jonathan Winters. It was not. It's so funny that was basically done again in Third Rock from the Sun. They had such similar vibes. Kimbo Grand said, do you collect any specific wrestling stuff? Magazines, action figures, etc., etc.? I have a bunch of action figures. I have a bunch of magazines. I wouldn't say I collect any where I'm like, oh, I got to get the whole set. I would love Major Wrestling Figures podcast did a history of the wrestling buddies. And I have, of the originals, I have Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Big Boss Man. And then I have a shitty Ric Flair from WCW, which is horrible. So I'm missing, I believe, just Jake the Snake and the Legion of Doom. So I'd love to get my hands on those at some point because I feel like I'm 3 away. But I'm not upset about it. I like obscure Jerry Lewis merchandise, and I have a bunch of it. I have a Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon Hot Wheels car. I have a jacket he wore. I have his watch, and I have a bunch of pens. And they're all very enjoyable. And this wonderful artwork. I have art that's painted of him that he signed, even though he didn't paint it. Apple Butter said, did you get the first issue of the Warriors comic? I think they sent it to magazine subscribers at the time. No, I didn't. I was not subscribing to the magazine. I was still buying it at the store at that time in Canada, where it would be like twice the price for some fucking reason. I don't have it. Neil said cult underwear is going to be the biggest seller. I think so, and I don't have access to it yet. It's not an option, or else it would have been like one of the first things I made. Jordan Patrick said, what about a beanie or a toque? I've been trying to make one, Jordan, but the embroidery on the design is very limited in color, so I couldn't get the exact colors I wanted. So I've been through it twice now. You have to basically send it in, and it goes through their system, and they tell you whether they can do it or not. And I've done it twice, and the answer's been no. So I've adjusted the design, and God willing, they'll work. So hang tight. Jack said, I remember that comic book. One had Big Boss Man investigating a missing child in the Undertaker's funeral home. That sounds like a real good episode of Law and Order. Chris said, remember the Chaos Comics series from the 90s where they had Austin, Taker, Kane, Rock, China, and Mankind, and edgy late 90s adventures? I have one. I think I have an Undertaker one, but Mankind is also in it. I got to track those down. And I can't remember what they did in it, other than it was very dramatic. Neil said, you're supposed to fall over or cause a fire or something. Leo said, Mr. Ben was always better than Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean sounds like an awkward Donald Duck. It's mostly unintelligible. Remember that speech he made at the end of the Bean movie? Is it just me? Pogo shines at great impersonation. SM said, need to know the support level of the sports bra. Some of us have big boobs. I guess I'll have to get one and put it on for everyone to see. It comes in a variety of sizes. It's not like a one-size-fits-all thing. So God willing, you'll be able to at least walk around in the house in it, if not jog. It also has that nice rainbow French press design. Nail said, always ready to build a deck, the wonderful Matt Cardona song. Leo said, Mel Smith was the most talented from not the 9 o'clock news and not Rowan Atkinson. I agree. I thought Rowan's best work was Black Adder, which I thought was just a good show regardless. But what is it with these fucking comedians? They got to get old, and then they got to turn into just fucking angry, crabby ass like John Cleese and shit. The fuck? I never thought I would live long enough to be like, that guy was a fucking asshole. And Eric Clapton and Van Morrison, you're like, the fuck, guys? What the fuck? These are the people I've been listening to? I can't listen to Domino anymore, or the Exit piano theme from Layla. Shit. Pogirl says cult shirt would make a sexy tank top. That I can do. Where did I go? Nail said you can make an RJ buddy. So that's something that would be obscenely expensive given how many people would probably order it. And it's one of those things where, like, if you can't do it exactly, then I do not want to do it at all. I want it to look exactly like the old one. I don't even want to bother. That's why people are like, oh, what about an action figure? I was like, do you know what a pain in the ass it is to, like, have them? And then maybe if, like, a website did it, there was, like, a pro wrestling tees for action figures, then, like, maybe. But I also think it's really, like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, do you just want to say you have an action figure? Just like some people are like, oh, I want to be in a video game, and they'll just sign their life rights away to some horrible video game just to say they were in one. Blue Meanie is here. Speaking of Blue Meanie, I want to say I saw this wonderful clip of him and Bubba Ray Dudley where they encountered each other in ECW, and they did the old Groucho Marx Brothers mirror thing, which was hilarious because they did not look like each other at all. It was a full-on comedy routine in the middle of a ECW TV episode. And then I think Bubba pulled a punch and Blue Meanie ran into the wall, tried to get away, ran into the wall. So talk about comedy pioneers in wrestling. They're doing Marx Brothers sketches. My hat's off to you. I had never seen it before. Neil said, I bought my first ever comic last month, the Warhausen comic. Unless the Wrestlevoid with RJ on the cover counts. Wrestlevoid is not a comic, it is a zine. So you bought your first zine with me on the cover. But Warhausen is a comic. Also, Blue Meanie, I watched that match you had with Derek Dukes, whatever the guy's name is. And I think he did most of the work. There was a lot going on there where it was like decent wrestling. But then it's the late 90s, so everybody only popped for like Year Dancing and the moonsault. Everyone's saying good morning, Mr. Meanie. Chris said Chaos Comics was all about the dramatics. They even did an Insane Clown Posse comic, believe it or not. I believe it. Nail said there's too much attention to the lovely Mr. Meanie. RJ, really handsome. Don't get cranky with us. Michelle said, hi, everyone. I'm late to the game today. First thing I hear mentioned is big boobs. Is it an underwear and bra program today? No more than usual. I just have a sports bra for sale at teesprings.com/stores/RJ City. And if your bust is a must for this, then get it. You know, what can I say? Chris said, I just want to say I always thought Clapton and Van Morrison were overrated. Panthers Grammar said, just got to keep listening to Rage Against the Machine. Okay Gamer, Jasmine Duke wants me to sing the new song I wrote for Shayna, The Ways of the Bays. So if you didn't know, Shayna Baszler, noted card magician, has a YouTube channel where she makes her dog run and things like that. And I was struck. She calls it The Ways of the Bays. See, because her name is Baszler. And she thought it would be cool if she gave herself a nickname by shortening her last name, right? From Baszler to Bays. And then Ways rhymes with Bays, right? And the channel of The Ways of the Bays is the thing she's doing. It's her way. So I had that in my head because it is quite clever, as most card magicians often are. And I came up with this song. Maybe she'll make it her end screen. And it goes like this. It's very short, but it's worth it. No, the ways of the bays. No, the ways of the bays. Walking my dog with my scooter. The ways of the bays. The ways of the bays. Doing card tricks for no one to see. The ways of the bays. Tasting whiskey. Smoking things. But not cigarettes or weed. I meant on my smoker. The ways of the bays. The ways of the bays. Look at my hat. That was the the theme song to Shayna Baszler's YouTube channel. Go look, suss around, click around. You'll enjoy it. Neil said the small buddies are $30 and the regular are $60. That's a lot. That is a lot. And that I also understand because you can't mass produce them to make them that cheap because not that many people are going to buy them. Leo said Stephen Fry turned into one of those guys. Now a militant atheist with a husband that probably wasn't even alive when the first live action Scooby-Doo movie was released. Imagine not knowing Scooby-Doo. Brodzilla is here. Sorry I'm late. Finally got to watch You Cannot Kill David Arquette. Great watch. Unexpectedly educational. It's a little emotionally heavy, isn't it? Brodzilla. You weren't expecting that, were you? Everyone's favorite scene is when David is sitting in the sad giant chair. It's now available on Netflix in Canada, and somebody tweeted out this morning, and I retweeted it. It's airing in the UK on like a TV for some reason. Nobody's paying me for that shit. Anyway, do enjoy it. Nails said, "Oh, we talking ducks?" You mentioned a duck, and Nails is right there. Leo said, "Who's better, Rage Against the Machine or the Chris Warren DX band?" As far as national anthems go, I got to go with Chris Warren. Spot Center said, Erin Moran blamed her late life faults on being called Shortcake by Fonzie, a rib by the writers as she detested Shortcake early in the series. Even had a brief childhood nickname. I had Burpee because you hated burps. Thank you for that wonderful tidbit. I feel like I've opened my mind now. See, Nail said, Brodzilla, isn't it great? Did you love the big chair? Did you cry? David should have sold that. She should auction off his big chair. Does RJ sell Shayna's card tricks? The one I saw, yes. I tried not to, but it was good. Rob said, my favorite Blue Meanie match was Blue Dust versus Gold Dust at St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1999. Sorry. Blue Meanie said, thank you. Bubba pitched it, and we nailed it in one take. I love that people still talk about it. In the Dukes match, I got probably the best move of my life. You were also basically already up there before he got into position. So you had to like that. You shot blind. You were just like, well, I hope he's there. And that's probably why it was so good, because you had to have that fuck it component. Also, to hell with Bubba Ray forever shitting on anyone doing comedic stuff when he's out here doing Groucho Marx routines. I can't wait till he starts arguing about something again, and then I'll pull that clip out of my back pocket. Who knew what a comedic genius that guy was? The timing, I will say, is superb. Brazilla said, what a ride, very deep, really appreciated the look behind the curtain. SM said, RJ and his kidnapper is keeping a straight face as he sings. Neil said, do you have to try and drink mid-song? I always bring it up like if I'm about to. It fills the gap. I should also pour this coffee, by the way. I got to press. Everyone wants to see the press. They always go, when you pressing, let me know. Can I, is it better if I go like this and go down? Yeah, okay. We can do this, and we can do this. Okay, the ways of the bays indeed. Okay, let's give this a nice squat. See, I'm not lit from this angle. See what the difference lighting makes? Like, this is terrible. And then, look at this happy cherub-faced child. Spot Tuna said, can you do max headroom? No. The YouTubers with their quick edits remind me of him. A guy who doesn't get his due. The wonderful Matt Frewer. Rob said, RJ, why do you have a lump under your eye? I don't think I do. I might be just it might be the lighting. See that talk about lighting, because this is the light's coming from here. This looks dark. This doesn't, because it's well lit. So really I should be whatever. This is who I am, and I'm not changing for you. Nell said, I also love David screaming up a mountain. Who can forget that subtle scene? Val said, the bras top out at extra large. I definitely wouldn't get into that. Too fat, too much boobs. I'm sorry. I'm going to go look and see if they can make bigger, because, like, that sucks. I didn't know about that. People have breasts, and they should be supported morally and physically. I'm going to see what I can do. Nell said, I will offer David some magic beans for his big chair. I think it's in storage right now. Big, giant, sad storage room. Ty said, I'll always regret not asking Shayna to do a card trick when she literally handed me a deck of cards. I'm an idiot. That's for sure. You missed out on the magic ways of the bays. Revenge said, hi, RJ. Can you do a Sunday morning coffee in your underwear shimmy? Yes, I can. You ready? Leo said, I love Blue Meanie as the raw boy. So did I. Rosella said, the big chair, Lily Tomlin style. I loved it. My dad said he used to have a crush on Lily Tomlin when he was little. He's a sucker for a big smile. So did I. And I still kind of do, even though I don't think it'll be possible. I don't think I'm her genre, but I did find her very attractive and funny. On Saturday Night Live, especially. Debhausen said, I'm grocery shopping, but I heard someone was shit-talking me in the chat. Not that I've heard. Caitlin said, are you paraffin waxing your feet? I have a socks on because it's cold, and it's a hard floor, and I need the support. Rob said, you definitely have a lump under your eye. I assure you, Rob, I don't. George said, RJ is becoming very popular fashion designer. One day we'll have to document his rise as an atelier. Yeah, maybe we could look up, like a Versace or one of those Tom Ford kind of documentaries. And it's just me complaining as somebody sewing. I want the pants to be bigger. Like that kind of thing. Jordan said, tell Shayna she just gained a subscriber if she uses Ways of the Bays. She will. She knows what's good for her. SM said, glad I started the discussion on the sports bar. Me too. I didn't even know. Spot Center said, I can't stop seeing the lump now. It's like okay, it's not a lump. It's a shadow. Don't you understand? Look. You see? And yet, it's called a Rembrandt. Nail said, yes, I'm gifting the shimmy fake out immediately. Ty said, oh my God, Nails, please and thank you. Definitely will be my new favorite gif. Val said, Versace, like in Showgirls. That's why Perry Ellis was more successful, because there's no way to mispronounce Perry Ellis. Spot Center said, the vegan cheesecake I made last night hits like Mabel from Men on a Mission. So it has a girth, yet a surprising amount of longevity and range. SM said, leave RJ's beautiful face alone. Poe Girl said, next time you stream, do full makeup, RJ. I should do a male, just a casual makeup tutorial. When you don't want to look like shit. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Jack said, oh, just had a good idea about an ending. 60-second scene. Clint said, wait, Shayna has a YouTube channel? Yes, she does. I believe I posted about it. I'll post about it again. I'll share her channel. She needs your likes and views and support. We're all pulling for her as she takes a shot at this new venture. So, Leo said, I think WWE should bring back Sunny and use her in exactly the same way they did in the 90s and never acknowledge the fact that she's no longer. That's not. See, I have different proclivities. The best person, not so much. However, Singh said, RJ, the beauty guru coming in. Thank you. Spice Hunter said, thread your eyebrows. Somebody said, it was a salon person. They said, I will never touch your eyebrows. They're beautiful. It's like, oh, okay. Blue Meanie said, the Raw Boy deal with Goldust is the time my nuts fell out on Raw. So let's find the date of that if you're looking to peak Brian Heffron's shoes. Luckily, it was when we taped every other week, so they edited them out. There's nothing like seeing your gimmicks on the Titantron. But at least there they look big, If you can have your wang fall out, you might as well do it when it's, on a screen that size. Messes with everybody's head. Distort the ratio or something, Ty said her channel name is QOS Baszler. Michelle said, didn't you do a video with a drag queen that did your makeup? Yes, I did years and years and years ago. But they did drag makeup, and I don't. Her name's Kine. She did a wonderful job. But I don't think was used to doing makeup on anyone's face but her own, which she learned after the makeup went on my face. EJ said, does RJ have a favorite horror film, or is the genre not for you? My favorite horror film might have to be, I do like the original Phantom of the Opera. I think it's tremendously tremendously scary. What other horror films? Sometimes I don't like them because they do legitimately. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. My favorite is The Abominable Dr. Phibes. Comedic undertones, as all good horrors have. But that is, I think, my favorite. The genre, sometimes it turns into just like gross out, like gore porn. Certain one is not my bag. I like to be a little creeped out in a different way, like a Twilight Zone kind of way. So a lot of them I go, Leo said, I have big ass brows too, and I don't want to thread them. And you shan't. Blue Meanie said, Goldust said it looked like two hooves of a newborn baby cow during birth, which reminds me of that wonderful scene in City Slickers where Billy Crystal and Jack Palance, and the cow's giving birth. And the cow goes, Mrr, and Billy Crystal goes, hello. That was some good writing. Apple said the likes are now over 100%. Baseballs are exploding into space. I'm the Lou Gehrig of YouTube screens. Caitlin Waddington said, did you have fun being the mummy in that movie? Of course, referring to Monster Brawl. No, I didn't. You mentioned something last week, and I ended up in your IMDb. Super fun. I hated being the mummy because it was a full face prosthetic, and then I was wrapped up. And the first day we did it, I didn't have a hole to pee. So I was dehydrated because I couldn't drink water, because if I drank water, I would have to pee. And then if I had to pee, we'd have to stop shooting. And a couple times in between takes, I was pretty close to having a freak out and ripping it off, because you feel claustrophobic with a full face prosthetic on and that whole thing and contacts. The mummy contacts was so big, they covered my whole eye. They were just like straight black, right? Like a seal's eyes. That one guy had to open this part with two hands. The other guy had to open it with two hands. And the third guy had to shove them in. And it was a lot. And I remember the last night we did it, I got to, take it all off. And then I remember lying in bed on my back and still feeling like I had the prosthetic on, and I had to keep touching my face so the sensation went away. Cactus said, release the Meanie cut. Yolanda said, good morning. Glad to see you back in the woodshed again. You know me, just chomping away. Oh, your pores are so tight. I love it. Thank you. Now somebody has something nice to say about my face. Sink said, Dr. Phibes, classic Vincent Price. I think he said it was one of his favorite roles. Positively E said, big, giant, sad storage room. Jack said, if you're looking for a top-notch comedy horror flick, might I suggest Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I've only seen The Rise of Jackie Vernon. There is also a really bad, I think, Lon Chaney biopic. I really want to see it because it's bad. Pogirl said, Arquette's The Cottage is disturbing. Another good horror film that was written and directed by David is called The Tripper, with the wonderful Paul Rubens in it. TWR said, are you having a nice day? And I will say that's none of your fucking business. Caitlin said, that sounds terrifying. I would have quit the second they came from my eyes. Singh said, hard note to giant contacts. The wolf ones I had were smaller. They were just like, covering the visible part of your eyes, and they were fine. But the other ones, like stretch your eyelids. They're that thick. Spot Center said, ever wrestle a guy in colored contacts? Yes, I have. And I've also seen a guy at an indie show make his entrance that he was one of those, I'm a creepy gothic demon guy. A lot of smoke and no. Colored contacts, big ones. He took 2 steps out. His contacts fell out. He picked them up off the floor. He went back behind the curtain. He put his contacts back in and then made his entrance. And I was flabbergasted. Leo said, talking of eyebrows, I once noticed some monobrow hairs hairs at work and tried to remove them with some super sticky tape. It didn't work, and I had a massive red... Yeah, you gotta tweeze, man. You gotta tweeze. Positively E said gimmick, so, and then put the blue balls emojis, which makes sense. EJ said, what's your dream acting role? You make a great Gomez Adams, but I think you did well as in a Clue reboot, only in the Madeline Kahn role. My dream would be the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors, Dr. Oren Scrivello, DDS. I think that's what I've been put on this earth for. Nail said, you don't have the kind of face that should be hidden under prosthetics. Yes, but I'm an actor. Nail said, Willie Mack sometimes wears scary contacts, and without any explanation. So just sometimes. SM said, 60-second scene, you're a hitman that keeps getting caught sneaking up on your target. You try to play it off and realize it's a high school classmate. What? Why are you blowing the ending for everyone? Who wants to see this now? Nevertheless, let's do it. Hell, oh my God, how are you? What are you even doing here? I was just, I like the organic kale better than so. This is the farmer's market for me. How are you? I haven't seen you in 20 years, maybe. Do you remember Mrs. Hersurgeon? We were in her math class. She was a hoot. Busty woman, too. You know, I was trying to get sports bras myself. They only have them in an extra large. It's no good. So, and scene. Nail said, you legit sound traumatized. Yeah, I almost freaked out. I had to like go meditate in between scenes because I was like, it was one of those things where I was like, if I thought about it anymore, I would just lose it. Michelle said, good day, all. I'm finally officially closed on my house. Got to pack more and more and move some stuff. Y'all want to come over for a housewarming party? Congratulations to you, Michelle. Moving onwards and upwards, not to the east side. But you get the gist. I'm excited to see the house, but yeah, I haven't seen the old one. I have nothing to compare it to. Enjoy the move and get rid of shit. Just get rid of shit. Everyone has a bunch of shit that they can get rid of. And moving is the best way to do it. So let's create some space in your new home by getting rid of shit in your old home. Nail said, Michelle, are you inviting us all or just RJ? Do you have a sauna? Michelle's sauna can fit everyone. Yay, Michelle. Aaron said, is this Hitman also Dracula? Well, I didn't want to have a gun if I'm sneaking up on them. So I thought maybe if I strangled them. SM said, murder at the farmer's market. SM said, the callback. That's professionalism. Nell said, it's too easy these days. Oh, Mrs. Surgeon, what a hoot. That was a real teacher I had, a math teacher. And she mentioned how much she loved Engelbert Humperdinck. So we bought her an Engelbert Humperdinck CD, and she was floored. I also went to that class drunk once. We had a bunch of periods off, and I went to my friend's house, and we had a barbecue, and there were coolers involved. And we straight up went to class drunk. And she must have known because she kept making us read aloud like math problems in the back of the textbook. She was like, all right, motherfuckers, let's see you get your shit together. And you know when you're just drunk enough where you're like, I can hold it together. And you'll try to pronounce hard words and good diction to be like, oh my God, I can do, you know what I mean? You're trying to like, really trying hard to act not drunk, which is just worse. Who the fuck acts like that? So she was like, all right, let's do this. Val's like, yes, last time I moved, I got rid of a ton of shit. Nail said, how would you get away with murder in front of all the other shoppers? I'll buy one of those gluten-free brownies for $13. Nobody will say shit. Ty said, RJ, drunk in class. I was a real Weisenheimer. Ty said, RJ was a bad boy. Pogirl said, did any of your old classmates know you wrestle now? Yes. And they come to my shows. They still come to my shows, which is weird. It's a nice, especially if it's like downtown Toronto, it's like a fun thing to do. People are still up on my business. Like most people I enjoy talking to. I have a small circle of friends where I was like, let's continue contact. Val said, oversell, trying to be normal. Michelle said, thanks, everybody. You're all invited. I did, in fact, get rid of a bunch of stuff. I called 1-800-GOT-JUNK, not a plug. And I just had them take out about 85% of my crap. I should do that like every year. Leo said, I had a music teacher called Mrs. Boner Smith, and everyone calls her Mrs. Boner Smith. She also looked just like Greg Valentine, but her hair was not pretty. Oh, she just got the rough end of the Valentine stick. Because he is so from behind is like, I am in. Blue Meanie said, I work security in a casino, and one of the shows I had to work was Engelbert Humperdinck, who I believe sang Quando. Tell me Quando, Quando, Quando. He was, and that's a name. You know you're going to be a star. Meanwhile, this guy's watching Engelbert Humperdinck, making fun of him. Little does he know, years later, his balls are going to be on the Titantron. Caitlin said, do you ever wear a mouth guard when you wrestle? You have such nice teeth. Thank you. I don't. Not too many wrestlers do. There are a few, but I love going to the dentist. I love going to the dentist, and he's like, oh, your teeth look great. Still wrestling? Hope you're wearing a mouth guard. And I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know what this is at all, do you? Apple said, careful with those apples. Spot Center said, I took Casey and the Sunshine Band record to music class for show and tell. And everyone went, ooh. Ty said, up on my business sounds extremely personal. Nail said there's an Eddie Izzard scene about how they came up with the name Humperdinck. Oh, I have to look it up. Craig Beckwith said, this is my first time I have heard all about your show from a certain friend in here. And you're not going to say who. But Craig, welcome. And I hope your tolerance lasts another 3 minutes. Michelle said, I live way out in the middle of cornfields. Plenty to hide out just in case anyone needs a place. They'll never find you or the bodies. Good day all. Or, Michelle, you could build a baseball diamond. Think about it. Singh said, Eddie Izzard needs to chill out in the defending of J.K. Rowling. Yeah, I mean, I love Eddie Izzard, and I enjoy her videos, but that woman doesn't need any defending. SM said, welcome, Craig. Well, Craig is getting the welcome wagon over here. Nail said, come on, RJ, you know I'm the head of recruitment. Yes, Craig, you'll be getting a pamphlet. Leo said, lots of lame-ass Brit wrestlers started wearing mouth guards after Pete Dunne got successful. Also, they're kind of fun to wear. And you get to chomp, 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 and, you know? But it ruins my oeuvre. Half of the time I'm smiling. Yeah, maybe if I painted teeth on them. And I look like a big fake Regis Larry King kind of teeth. Pogirl said, I moved from the big city to the cornfields too. SM said, how did I know Craig was a friend of our head of recruitment? Spot Center said, actually, the local racists of the 70s looked down on me, so I liked a band that had members of color. Dumb isn't new, but popular now. I agree. Nail said, yes, Craig. Craig is Val's and I is Pal. Craig is a Val pal. He's a Nails and Val pal, which is delightful. Craig said, I would like it would be hard wrestling with a mouth guard in. It is. I played hockey with it, and you chunk a little. Although I feel like they're a little better now than they used to be. Look, I'm not wrestling. What the hell do I care? Bro said, I just turned my screen sideways and noticed the logo in the right corner. Is that new, or has it always been there? It is indeed new. And I'm working on a new intro screen and end screen as my Key to the City members got a sneak peek of, and you'll all see it in a couple weeks. Andre Hodge says, hi, RJ City. I say, hi, Andre. Ty said, vampire mouthpiece? Yeah, and then I could sneak up on people in the farmer's market. Major Foreman said, I'm thinking of joining this cult, but I'm afraid you'll lead me down the wrong path. Well, this path will lead to not a cult. because that's what this is. This group is many things. A cult is not one of them. Positively Issa, you played hockey? What position? A bunch. I was young enough where it was like, we don't know what you guys are good at. Just fucking play whatever you want. Anyway, we had a day talking about sports bras and how bad Van Morrison is, and mainly mouth guards and farmers markets. Well, this was delightful, and I assure you, again, Jack with the 60-second scene, right? Oh my God. Well, we're going long because Jack made the cut. You're a wrestling streamer making coffee in your underwear. You suddenly realize that most of your audience is lusting after you and having impure thoughts. You are shocked and disgusted. You're just writing the whole script. Here we go. Well, anyway, I want to thank... I come on here for good conversation and a little intellectual stimulation, and I am not here to be cocked at. I am not. I think it is gross and sad and sick. And I will bid you good day and adieu right after I spin in an intellectual kind of manner. Oh, God. And scene.